here, and it was about mental health awareness. And then the second year, which was last year, we curated the first mental health awareness panel, which was called It's Okay to Not Be Okay. Did anyone come out to that one last year? So today, it's our little sequel, it's our little baby. It's called Coping Fiercely. How, like, really queens, kings, performers, we look at how we look after ourselves, how we can bestow our little ways of self-love and self-care to you, and we tackle a couple of topics that I think we need to talk about. Are you ready to meet our panelists today? First up, we have the large and in charge, chunky yet funky, Latrice Royale! Next up, she slays every day. Give it up for Shay Cooley! The absolutely phenomenal talent all the way from Manchester. Give it up for the incredible Donna Trump! And finally, one of the first LGBTQ+ people commercial film inspiring us all in Mean Girls. Give it up for Daniel Francesi! Yes! So we are here and we are queer. Now this is called Coping Fiercely. We've got a couple of questions. Everyone is allowed to answer. We'll go down the line. Starting with Daniel, let's do this. Question number one is, when was the last time you gave yourself a day off? A day to yourself to recoup and to cleanse. What do those days entail in terms of looking after yourself?
It's difficult because my life's kind of like a vacation. I don't want to complain and be like, oh, I was just working over on a cruise ship. It's like, I do have like a very relaxing life, but I think that it's important to take special self-care moments for sure, and just like regroup and actually rest, even if it just means letting your mind rest for a minute. I think that that's very valuable to my self-care and health. This year I've been on tour doing stand-up a lot, and I literally came off a cruise ship, got on a ferry to the airport and came here to London. The cruise was 10 days, I got off on the 6th day. I don't stop, I keep going, but I do think it's important every once in a while to take a moment and plan a little vacation, or even if it's just like a massage or something, just to sort of like, give myself something back.
What about you, Johnny, my love?
I think the last time I had a day off was probably 2002.
2002.
But no, I think as drag performers and probably as queer people, we end up becoming like workaholics because we're constantly like obsessed with our work. And I think you've got to take that time where you go, right, I'm not going to look at my social media, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to read a book, or binge watch Orange is the New Black, or something like that, and just kind of take a moment to go, oh, that's nice.
What about you, Shay?
The last day I had off, lovely enough, was about like 2 weeks ago. Me and some friends went on vacation in P-Town, but I don't normally get a lot of days off. So when it comes to just like finding a moment, my favorite thing to do is to take a nice long bath, to like submerge myself in like water, hear the sound of just like water dripping from the faucet into the tub with like great aromas. That is like one of my favorite forms of self-care.
And Latrice?
Day off. What is that? No, no, I work a lot, and it's important that you have to disconnect. And I was fortunate, like a week ago, I was home, and I was able to Netflix and chill, binge watch some shit that I don't care about. You know what I mean? And it's just really good to like unplug, get off social media, eat your favorite food, chill out, smoke some weed. Oh my God. I'm just saying, cannabis has helped me a lot in my self-care. And others, I try to make vacation happen wherever I am, because we travel a lot, we don't get a chance a lot of time to see the beautiful cities that we're in because we're working. But it's important to take little moments and appreciate each town or each city or each country that you're in while you're there, because they'll pass you by and you'll never know that you had a moment. So cherish those and find solace in the little things in life. Like, I had a whole new perspective on what's important when I was incarcerated. You only have time to think there. But, but the thing of it is like, you have to realize the little things that make you happy and indulge in those for just the moment. You know what I mean? It could be ice cream, it could be your favorite show, it could be knitting, whatever it is that brings you joy. Take time and do that and find something. The smallest things, I'm telling you, don't try to do big shit because it doesn't always work. So if you take solace in the small things in life and cherish those, you're going to be okay.
Thank you so much. Now, feeling at home is so important for all human beings of all walks of life. Everyone has a physical and mental safety blanket that they carry with them or create, whether it's an item, a friend, or a sense of security around you. What do you rely on to keep you grounded, to keep you level-headed, and safe from triggers of any kind, whether it's traveling or simply within your own home?
I think my friends are really important to me. Because I travel so much, I don't get to see everyone, so I actually do this thing where like I'll schedule a coffee with someone. I'll like go sit in a coffee shop with my phone, and they'll go sit in a coffee shop with their phone, and we could like actually talk over FaceTime and actually just still make time for my friends and family. No matter what I'm doing or where I am, if my mom calls me, I will answer, even if it's to say, I can't talk right now. I have to make sure that I'm still tuning into the people that were always there for me from the beginning, like my core group of people that are like my safety net, my friends and my family come first before anything.
Donna?
I would definitely echo that. I think family is something that definitely keeps me grounded. My mom is probably my biggest supporter, but also my harshest critic, because she's like, you're working too hard, stop it. And the way that I'm dressed today, I was definitely don't work hard enough. But I think family is definitely something that keeps me grounded. Also, my grandmother definitely gives me a talking to if I'm going to a reward. And I think that's a good relationship that I've got because we're able to separate our drag personas with our like real life. So there's always a difference between Donna and Kieran, which is something that I always find hard to keep separate. So they help me like keep that separate, that I can keep on track and feel good about it.
Shay?
Well, I, in December, adopted an adorable little teacup chocolate Pomeranian. That animal, honestly, she is just like the purest little ball of love. And I actually just recently got my certification for her to be an emotional support animal. So I'll be able to take her on the plane. But honestly, it's honestly because she gives me such pure love, the same way that, you know, people get that from their friends and their family. I just absolutely love being surrounded by that super adorable little cute creature, and she's just like the perfect thing for me to always like have, to just remind me that love can always come from such a pure place. I just love it.
Finding a treat?
I'll be the good auntie now. I'll be the good auntie. What keeps you grounded? Is that what the question is?
What keeps you level-headed and safe from triggers of any kind when traveling or simply just being at home?
It's tough, and it's a hard balance. And I will say this, like when you're separated from your friends and your family, and all you have is you and the demons that are inside here, it's hard to determine what's real and what's not. And you have to really beat down those voices and know and have that rational moment where you know that this is not real and this is just an emotion, and although you're feeling it and it feels real, you have to be stronger than your emotions at times, and that's how I get through it. I'm very headstrong. I'm a very emotionally driven person, as you all know, but the balance is important because I suffer just like everyone else. We all have insecurities, we all have dark days, we all have days where we're not feeling it, and no matter who's in your life and who's around you that's supposed to give you joy, you have to find that within, because it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks, you know? You you're dealing with this and it's your issues and you have to get over it and be stronger than it and push through it. And I tell you, I'm very blessed because I have a husband who is very supportive, and we support each other and lift each other up because there has to be a balance. We can't be crazy and off the rails at the same time. That ain't gonna work, you know what I mean? Somebody gotta hold this ship together, you know what I mean? And so, like, before my family was in my life, I did count on my chosen family, which are my friends, because I know a lot of you out there might not have family support. But if you don't, just know that you can find solace in your friends and know that they're loving you and accepting you on your dark days as well as your bright days. So,
That was beautiful. It's also good to know that any dark day and any dark feeling, it is temporary. It is as temporary as every positive feeling.
Oh my goodness, that is always a good thing to remind yourself when dealing with any kind of pain. You're just all like, this is temporary, this too shall pass.
I would say be kind to yourself. Oh, I'm sorry, were we going on?
Go for it.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, I was just gonna say be kind to yourself and like love yourself and give yourself a lot more credit because oftentimes we are our own toughest critics and we feel the craziest things. And one thing that my therapist tells me that is always helpful is that feelings are not facts. You know? It's just like, feelings are not facts, and whenever I'm like feeling, you know, insecure or anxious, I have to just like remind myself of what the facts are. What's today's date? Who am I? Where am I? Who do I love? Who loves me? And those are the things that help to like bring me back.
I come from an extreme place of gratitude. I think like there's always something to be grateful for. If the fastest thing to get something you want is to be grateful for what you have, you know, if you just take a moment, it could be the smallest thing. It could be like, oh, you know, there was free water. You know, like, it's like whatever it is. No, honestly, if you sit, like when I again, I had a really low point in my life, and I carried around a gratitude journal, and I would just say, oh, I was thankful that the train was on time. I was thankful that this person let me go first, and then I ended up getting the last, whatever. You know, whatever the thing is, there's little things every day that if you're having a really bad time in your life, if you could collect those, and then before you go to bed, just like either meditate on them or thank God or whatever you believe, like, and just like focus on the things that you're grateful for.
It's a really good idea. A very good idea. Anyone else?
It totally helped me. I mean, that's exactly what gets me through. And got me through my darkest time is focusing on the small positive things, because there's always someone or something that can make your situation a lot worse. The fact that you are living, breathing, and have your limbs and they're working, the fact that you walked in here today, the fact that you had money to buy these tickets, you know, these are all wonderful, amazing things to be grateful for. And you're being blessed right now by sitting here and getting all this information and having this panel. So, like, focus on those things and you'll know that life is not so bad. And life can be grand and as beautiful as you can imagine it. It can be it. And I'm living proof of that. And so, I didn't get here by not believing in myself and not loving myself. I come from very humble background, and then I made some mistakes in my life that I'm not proud of. But what I am proud of is that I got through it. I'm stronger having gone through it, and I persevered, and now look at me. I'm here at DragWorld. You know what I'm saying?
I think something that muddies queer people, that gets in our brain, is we live in a society where the world is run, the media of the world is run by what a straight white male thinks a straight white male wants. Like, and we're not gonna fit into that. So, like, everything that's served to us, and as gay people, everything that's served to us is served with a side of abs or a look that is unachievable. And I think that really it's about finding peace within yourself and knowing that we really are the thing that we create. It's not, we're not trying to be what other people think we should be.
100%.
As a high school teacher, I would say that when I was teaching, the amount of students that would come up to me and they would have anxiety issues or feel like they didn't belong and felt like they couldn't be their authentic selves around the school. And as a high school teacher, that is one of the most upsetting things for a student to tell you, because the one thing that they don't believe is in themselves. And the one thing that I always say to my students is, you are you. No one else can do you as well as you. So you carry on being you because you are brilliant. And that is exactly what I think everyone should take away.
This walrus is a teacher, bitch.
Yes.
Next question. We're living in an age where social media rules our lives as performers in a lot of ways, with as many positive as there are negatives. When it comes to cancel culture, cyberbullying, witch hunting and online harassment, how do you navigate in dealing with such behaviours when faced with it? And do you have any advice for those that cope with it?
Tune out.
Check
Out. It is not your business what these people think of you at all. Like I just recently went through that for the first time. Like I did not know it was so severe.
Especially when you know yourself and the things that they're saying are untrue. That's them. That's their business. That's their thing. And it's not healthy to take that on. So I just always try to remind myself that I know who I am, and whoever this person is, their views on me have nothing to do with me. It's not my business. You know, I can't be affected by it, because if you allow yourself to get affected by that, then it starts to remove a little bit of your authenticity and to, you know, what Donna was saying about you are the only you that there is. So you have to be the best you that you can be. When it comes to online cancel culture, you know, bullying, witch hunts, just tune out. Go watch a movie, because I guarantee you those things blow all over in 24 to 48 hours and they're on to the next.
I'm a naturally like optimistic person. I'm like really friendly. I'm supportive of my friends, but I have my own biases and my own things about people. And I think when it comes to that, when it comes to negativity, is to find where that lies within yourself, and then make an effort to go against that. You know, I might find someone and be like, this guy, you know, this like maybe I might not be attracted to someone, so maybe I'll flirt with them, or maybe I'll like find a place where I'm going, this person's copying me, so but instead of like being mad about it, give them an opportunity to work together. I try to find some way to force myself to go past where I'm at, and I think if we live in a culture of that, then the hate will go away.
I got nothing to say. I mean, everyone covered that.
Donna's like, everyone loves me online, so.
That is not true. That is not true, believe me.
Now, this is our last question. If you can't love yourself, how can you love anybody else? It gets better, love is love, and have courage and be kind to all famous mantras people live by to motivate themselves to live as authentically as possible. What mantras do you live by?
I was a kid who wore my t-shirt in the pool. I was like ashamed of my body when I was growing up. I didn't understand, like, even as an actor, when I first started my characters when I was young, I've always been 6'4" and a big guy. So when I was younger, my characters were either the wimp or the bully. Like I just couldn't be like a normal person. And I had to find a place in myself to like love myself. And I think it starts with like lying to yourself. Like it started to be like, I am beautiful, you know, like I'm not gonna make a bad joke about myself, I'll make a positive joke about myself. You know, instead of being like, you know, something that would tear myself down, I'd make a joke, even if I didn't mean it or believe it, that would bring myself up. And eventually people were like, well, now I can't make a bad joke around Danny because he doesn't play with that. He respects himself. So they started respecting me and treating me differently. And then that made me feel actually confident. It's like the lie that I told myself told people not to treat me that way. And then the new way that they treated me made me be confident. So anytime I feel like I have a little bit of a doubt or a little bit of a, like even on the cruise that I just was on, I was like, should I take my shirt off at the pool? And just because I thought that, I put a shirtless picture on Instagram. I was like, I'm gonna fight myself and to make myself believe in what I'm doing.
I think one big mantra I try and live by is that every moment is precious, no matter what, whether it's negative. Like, a hello, how are you, is probably the best thing you can say to someone because it shows that you care. And showing care to somebody else can change somebody's life. And that is something that I always try and do.
I would say a mantra that I live by. It's funny because I lived by this for a long time, and when I first started dating my boyfriend, I saw in his bedroom he had like a little print, and I was just all like, oh, but it's work hard and be nice to people. I cannot stress enough how important it is to operate from a place of love and kindness, because you never know what people are going through. And I feel like I believe in the laws of attraction, and I feel like if you put that out there in the universe, that you will get that back. And I feel like I get surrounded by so much love that any time that there is any hate, I barely even notice it, because you gotta concentrate on the positive. So work hard and be nice to people definitely will get you pretty far. Yeah.
I also think if you see somebody out in the street and you like their dress, tell them nice dress.
Yeah.
Like, you know, go out there and give compliments. Go out there, and when you actually think something nice about someone, say it. And try to put positivity into the world. It will certainly come back.
A mantra that I live by, it's kind of deep, but forgiveness is freedom. And I had to learn the hard way how to forgive myself, how to forgive others and let things go, so that I can live freely and be happy completely. And oftentimes we beat ourselves up when we have bad days or bad moments, and we get stuck in the rut of, oh my God, I can't believe I let this happen. And you punish yourself and you're mad at yourself. Understand that it's okay, you did that, but move on from it. Forgive yourself, it's not going to be the last time. This is life, and life is precious. It takes too much energy to be angry all the time. It takes too much energy to be sad all the time. And I promise you, if you find forgiveness starting with yourself for having a bad moment or making a mistake, you'll find that you'll be a lot more happy. Amen. And a lot less stressed.
I have to say my mantra, I have it on the back of my laptop when I'm DJing and stuff. It's just don't be a dick. Anyway, we have come to the end of our panel, everyone. Give it up for the Trees Royale, Shake Roulette, Thomas Trump, and Daniel Francisci. I've been Crystal Lubricant. Have a great rest of the day here at DragWorld.